it only create a mess. There's nothing good that can come out of the mess like that. And
Right.
so just accept, you know what? I was blind. I didn't realize what I was doing when I got into this situation. So this is the wake up call, and just accept it. Because Audrey, thanks for calling and thanks for holding. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. How are you?
All is well. Thanks for calling.
All right. So, first time caller. I've been listening to you probably for about 3 years. My husband kind of got me into you. Sorry, I'm trying to reel in my emotions. My question to you is, I do the silent prayer. I listen to my husband. We're a blended family. So I have a 12-year-old son. He has a 10-year-old daughter. And then we have a 2-year-old daughter.
What a mess.
Right? But we can't turn back time. We're doing best we can with what we have.
Right.
So back in December, I caught my son and his daughter doing something. So we had 50-50 custody, my ex-husband with my son. So he would stay at our house week on, week off, okay? So now because of this incident, my husband doesn't want my son around his daughter, and I completely understand that from his point of view. So my time with my son has went from, half a month basically down to maybe a few hours in a month. So I guess my question to you is I understand it from my husband's perspective, and I'm trying to say, as long as my son and I have a great relationship and he's okay being, still hanging out with mom, at age 12, how do I be okay with this situation? Because I'm a big family person. I loved our family together before this, and now it just seems like it's completely opposite, and I'm just trying to live, being okay with it.
So you want to be okay with not being able to be with your son as much?
And just have that family that we had, even though it's not family, according to what you say. I get what you say. Like my husband now is not my son's father, and I'm not his daughter's mother, but again, a blended family is we're, in my husband's eyes, we were forcing our kids to live together, and that was wrong to do. It was wrong for us to get married. You know what I mean? And then have another kid. So we get that what we did was wrong. It was 3 years ago that we got married. And so just learning your ways, I'll say, has really helped us tremendously. I'm living the best life I can. And I can promise you that, my life has never been better. This hiccup, I'll say, in our family is, it's been, maybe 5 months now, but my ego keeps wanting to pull me in and tear me down. And so I always talk to my husband. He pulls me out of it. And I guess I kind of want it back the way it was. I don't want to have to leave the house to go spend a few hours with my son to come back, and not have him there. It's weird.
How old is your son?
He's 12.
And he's with his father when he's not with you?
Yes, and I know that you say, hey, they're better to be with their father than their mother. I get that too.
Yeah.
So that's where I also find solace in it. But I was more of, I would say, I don't want to say masculine role than my ex-husband, but the way it is now is he's a helicopter parent, which means he's a complete control freak over him. Which is fine. If he wants to do that, it's fine. It will be what it will be. But I guess, that's part of it too, is I don't know. I don't know where to go from here.
So I guess how old is your stepdaughter?
She's 10.
She's 10, 12 and 10. And so your question for me is what?
How do I become okay with not being with my son as much as I used to be?
By accepting it and don't get into thought about it, because we all do some stupid stuff when we live in our imagination. And because had you not been in your imagination, you would have never gotten married, knowing that you already had kids and he had kids, and it only create a mess. There's nothing good that can come out of the mess like that.
Right.
And so just accept, you know what? I was blind. I didn't realize what I was doing when I got into this situation. So this is the wake-up call. And just accept it, because he's 12 now. He's with his father, and the boy should be with his father anyway. And so
Right.
just accept it without judging yourself for it or anyone. Don't be angry about it. You were just blind and didn't see, right? So, and God is not holding it against you. Don't let Satan condemn you and judge you. And just accept it, and you'll be surprised how a way will be made for it to work itself out in ways that you would never imagine, and it will be fine.
Yeah, because I think a part of it is, like today I'm able to, kind of do things I need to do outside the house.
Yeah.
And then I'm supposed to get with my son, probably around noon and spend time with him, go take him to a movie. And then when we go do the fun things, he's like, okay, can you take me back to my dad's house?
See now?
So it's kind of like, oh, you don't want to hang out? You know what I mean? And I try not to say that because I don't want to impose my will on him.
And that's what
make
you're
him
doing.
Feel guilty. Right. And
No.
so that's where I'm like, do I keep calling? Like, do I call him to set up, hey, do you want to go do this on my weeks? Because that's kind of how it's been. We'll spend a couple hours. Or do I just let him call me? Because if I do that, again, there's that fear that he won't call me. Because the weeks I don't have him, I don't hear from him.
And so at 12, why do you need to hear from him?
I guess it's like the motherly instinct. You have a kid, and being in a divorced family, I guess it's kind of like you just don't ever expect them to just not reach out. You know what I mean? When they're older, that makes sense. But I guess when they're like younger and stuff, I think he leans a lot on his dad. Which is fine.
That's beautiful.
It is. I just kind of wish he was a little bit more communicative with me, his father with me, instead of.
And why?
To kind of better trying to raise our kids together when we're not together.
But you're not
physically.
together.
Right.
And the son at 12 seemed to be fine with it, and he knows that he can call you anytime, right?
Yeah.
And the father's not stopping him from calling you, right?
I don't believe so, no.
And so why not be grateful that this situation that started out, because in the Jewish community, did you know that the boys, men, is a man at 12?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
I did not.
And so why not, just think about that. You got into a situation blind and could not see what you were getting into. You got into it. And then this situation happened, but the boy is close to his father at 12. He wants to be close to his father, and he knows that he can be with you or the father. He's made the decision, his father, and it sounds like your situation is working itself out, but you still want to, you're still giving it to thoughts and feelings, and they're trying to make you screw up a good situation that's working out for you.
Yeah, I'm really, trying to be tough about it in the sense of I'm not letting that voice, control the situation. I hear it, I let it go like the wind, I don't try to react to it.
Yeah.
And then it's more or less, I just had what I was going to say, but it's I don't know, it's different. You know what I mean? I am happy he's with his dad. I'm happy he has that relationship. I just, I guess I have to have that wait and see attitude. I have to have that and trust, that it's okay that we have the time we do have together, because I truly believe that. And then just let it be what it's going to be. But if I go to, make plans with him and then he says, I don't want to do it, should I just be like, okay?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
Absolutely.
Right?
Don't show emotions about it at all, because all your emotions are selfish. They're about you and not about him.
Right.
And don't just say, oh, okay. And he will see that you love him and you're not trying to impose yourself on him, and that he can freely be with you or with his father. Remember, Jesus said didn't you know I needed to be in my father's house? When his mother like, Jesus, where were you? We were looking for you. He like, be quiet, woman. Didn't you know I needed to be with my father? What the? You
And I hear you say that a lot, like the children should be with their father, and it kind of, I don't want to say it happened naturally like that because of the way it happened.
But the way it happened,
but
I wouldn't call that natural or unnatural either, because look what it's turning out to do.
in a positive way, is that what you mean?
I wouldn't
Like it's
look at
working
it.
its way
I
out?
wouldn't look at it as negative or positive, because when you are a whole person, there is no negative or positive. It's
Right.
when you divide it that you have the positive and the negative.
Right. There's no good or bad. There just is.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So I just keep doing the silent prayer, and I guess I just keep reciting things like that. You know what I mean? When I find myself trying, it's like I'm trying to be pulled back into it. I just keep reminding myself, it is what it is. Let it be. Everything will happen the way it does, and that seems to get me through it. But then I was listening to your church from Sunday, and something just told me to, just call him, get that extra push from you, say something. Maybe you were going to say something I didn't know, or, just give me a slap in the face that I needed. I don't know,
What I want you to pay attention to now is the perfect time to pay attention to what's happening with you, right? And I want you to know to pay attention to how these different thoughts are coming to make you feel a certain way and think a certain thing. And that those emotions that are coming with it, just notice they're not your thoughts. Those are not yours, and they're not your emotions. You want what's best for your son. And inwardly, deep down, you know that your son is better off with his father. But the thoughts and emotions, which are of the devil, try to make you think otherwise so that even that would not happen. I want to encourage you to watch those thoughts and feelings, and every thought and feeling you get is evil, is a lie. It's not true. Your boy, and according to you, his father wants to be with him, and he wants to be with his father. He knows that he can call you or be with you if he wants to. And when you do be with him, just keep it simple. Don't bring in all your emotional stuff. Oh, don't you want to be with mommy? Oh, mommy love you. The boy like, no, I don't want to play. Oh, you don't want to play for a little bit? Don't do all that to him. Because you're thinking about you and not him when you do that. And you regret that after a while as well.
Yeah. Another quick thing, and I won't take up too much more of your time, was, my son and my now husband had a great relationship. And it seemed like my ex-husband has single-handedly probably destroyed that, And I think that's a part of it, too, that I'm having a hard time with, is the evil that I see in my ex-husband, and it's bleeding to my son, because my son, does look up to his father a lot. So he has a lot of, trust in whatever his dad says, and he wants to mimic that. So that's part of, I think, it too, is the mind control he has, and that he can cause the damage in my son to dislike somebody.
Who would you rather him look up to? Your husband now, which is not his father, who is not his father, or his father?
Well, the right answer is his father.
Which do you prefer?
However, I feel stupid saying this, but the way my husband is now is an alpha male, where his father is a beta. So I totally would like him to look up to his stepdad to get those good core values that he is, shined on to me. I'd like my son to be able to have that. But I know the right answer is he needs to follow his blood father. I know that.
So why don't you go with the right answer, not the one that you favor? Because the right answer is the thing that's going to work, not the one that you favor.
It's because of the evil I see in my ex-husband. That's why.
And do you see the evil in yourself?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so why are you trying to stop the evil in your ex-husband but keep it alive in yourself?
I wouldn't say I'm trying to stop it in my ex-husband. I just see it. There's nothing I can do about it. And with myself, I'm doing a good old college try every single moment of the day to try and not be evil. Like, it's a battle. It's truly a battle, you know, and you have been a blessing. Like, I turn to listening to you and my husband to kind of keep me on the up and up, to keep, you know, that engraved in my head, and to keep doing the mantras of repeating the things that keep me grounded. So it is a struggle. It's hard to really have that balance. And I'm grateful I have a husband that I do that can lead me, you know, and keep me, you know, just to be able to look at him, you know, like a lot of people look at you, that they're not beneficial to have somebody like I do with my husband. It's amazing. It really is. So it's hard. It's hard to see people be evil and have that influence, and especially it be on your child. So as a parent, you feel like you need to protect your kids, you know, to a certain degree, and being able to see that and not be able to, I guess you would say, control it, but to have some type of, you know, better way. It would be control, I guess, no matter how you put it.
Would you be disappointed if your son looked up to his father? Would you be disappointed?
No, I wouldn't be disappointed.
And how about if he turned out to be like his father? Would you be disappointed?
I think it'd make my skin crawl, but I wouldn't be disappointed, because his father is a good father regardless of some of the negative traits I see in him.
And why are you judging his father? Who are you to judge his father, period?
I'm nobody to do that.
So why are you doing it? You know? It's making your skin crawl. Why are you doing it?
It's just, I think it's the instinct of a mother that they have to protect their child. It's
not instinct. Instinct is evil. That's why it's making your skin crawl. You're judging him. And
right.
Look at you. Your life is messed up.
Right.
And
I can't change the way it is.
Right.
I have to
and you want the son for yourself. You want him for your ex-husband. I mean, your husband you're with now. That man is not his father. And you want to bring him in because that's what you want, because you listen to evil.
Right. It's just hard to let it go.
And you have this judgment upon this boy's father, and you're thinking that he should have the same thing. This is what's going to happen. You don't know that. You need to work on you and stop judging his father, because whatever happened with you and his father had nothing to do with him.
Exactly. Right. 100%.
And that thing in you wants you to destroy your son in order to get back at his father so your skin can stop crawling.
What do you mean by control my son?
I'm sorry?
What do you mean by...
It's tempting you when you're with him and he like don't want to play anymore. Like, it's tempting you to say, oh, don't you want to play some more? It's tempting you to want to be with him when you know he's best with his father. You got your own family now. You got another family. It's doing everything to try to keep you or make you keep your son away from his father. It tells you, oh, look, remember how bad his father was or is. His father's beta. His father's this. It's making you judge so you can make the wrong decision.
Hmm. You got me there, I think. I guess I was looking at it more of an aspect of I want to enjoy time with my son and not the unconsciousness of trying to keep him away from his father.
Right, because it's about you. And whenever we think about ourselves, I, me, we are unconscious.
Right.
And that's what unconscious people do. Everything is about them, but they pretend it's about someone else, and it's really not. In all honesty, it's not.
No, and that makes sense because it's kind of like how that ego sneaks up on you, and until you reflect and do the silent prayer, you don't catch it.
Right.
But then once you realize it, you're like, well, I'll be darned, you got me again, but I'm not going to let it happen. But then it's like when you're in that moment of weakness, whether it be in your mind or physical, that's when it creeps in and is louder, and that's when I find I have to be stronger, or else it just takes over. So it's definitely
Well,
it's a forever thing.
you don't have to be stronger. You just have to be alert. You have to be aware. And it's the awareness that takes you through the hell to overcome it. But even in your weakest moment, you just need to be alert, aware.
Right. Just be still and quiet, basically, and observe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just watch those thoughts in motion. Let those thoughts pass right through you, because if you let them stop in the emotion by overreaction, they're going to defeat you. They will destroy you.
Yeah, I agree.
So this whole thing is about you. And, I don't know what's going to happen, but since your husband don't want the son around his daughter, that could turn out to be a bad situation if you make that happen.
What do you mean?
I mean, if
make them be together, you mean? Is that what you're saying?
Right.
No, and that's the thing. He was like, he can stay here when she's not, because she also does time with her mother. But my son he's not comfortable sleeping at the house, so I haven't been having him do that. You know what I mean? Whether it be his father instilling that fear into him or not, I can't think about that. It is what it is. I can't control that. I just have to listen to him. It's just weird having a 12-year-old tell you how they want it and you being okay with it as a parent. You get what I'm saying?
No, and nothing wrong with that.
No?
Most 12 years old are not able to tell their parents what they want. They're afraid to, especially with the mother.
So I'm blessed to have a son that will communicate and let me know things.
But yet you don't want to accept it.
Well, I do.
But the devil in you making you want to do something else.
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
Are you doing the silent prayer every morning, every night?
Every morning and every night. And the nighttime after 8 p.m., I say I'm weak because I'm weak in my mind. I'm not strong-minded. So that's when the devil is more loud, I'll say.
Right.
So it's harder for me to grab a hold and stand strong. And I know that, though. I know that about myself, so I'm aware of it.
Well, there's no such thing as strong-minded. There's a clear mind. And what you want is a clear mind. And so you need to drop all the stuff that you're into about you and this boy. Let that happen naturally and work on you.
Okay.
Work on you. Stay with the prayer. Watch the thoughts and the emotions, and know that they are not of God. They're of the devil. They're not even your own. They're of your father, the devil, right? And let them pass and watch on you and work with you and watch and pray, and you'll see it all work out. It'll be fine. More than you can even imagine. I can't even imagine how it's going to turn out. But if you work on you, stop looking behind and stop looking to the future, it cannot go wrong.
Right. No, I agree. And like I said, I have an amazing husband that keeps reminding me, and he's there for me, and he's very patient with it and everything. And, when I want to see red, he shows me it's white. So
right that's
a
good.
blessing, but yeah.
Women need men to lead them, not to follow them.
Yes, and that's what he said, is he married me because he saw that I was able to, I was willing to follow him and let him guide me. And that's why he chose me to be married. So as messed up as the situation is, I think it's a good messed up situation if that's possible. So
amazing. Well, I wish you well, and call me again, all right?
Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate you greatly.
Okay.